Woohoo! This is what I'd like to call fuel by the foot. It's helpful for steep uphills like this. So here's a junction where I'm about to go up Hope Pass. And they don't waste any time just going straight on up the mountain. I believe this is like 2,400 feet over 2.3 miles, something like that. I can't even imagine the folks who have been able to stand on top of something like Everest, just how they must feel. I was thinking about that. Approaching the top of this climb is just like, oh, I'm finally here. And it's like, oh, I worked so hard to get to the top, and it's just so fulfilling and exciting. But like Everest, can you just imagine? That'd be amazing. I asked Ensalada when I sent something here to Twin Lakes if they had a post office, and they were like, oh yeah, they got a post office. But apparently if you mail something to the non-existent post office, the general store gets it, and they have it in this big wooden bin thing outside that's locked up, and they accept packages. Pretty hiker friendly little place. They've got a delicious food truck in town, and the inn that I stayed at actually is a saloon and restaurant by night also. I think the best thing about Twin Lakes though is, guess what they had? If you guessed kettle cooked salt and vinegar chips, you're right. One thing I've noticed at these higher elevations is that my little coffee packets puff up, and potato chips and stuff like that, they're under pressure. Dun, 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 dun. Today ended up being a pretty good day, even though normally it's a hard day out, going uphill, out of town, full pack. And today was a little bit warmer, so I was getting sweatier. And so I ended up running into a couple that I've been kind of seeing on and off in the last couple stretches. And we were talking about how compared to other trails, there is very little trail magic out here. And so I get up and from the break and push on, and I get maybe 50 yards from where they were sitting, and they're like, wait, Dixie. And here's this guy that comes up, and he did the AT in 2016, and he offers us some trail magic, and he had some beer and snacks and things like that. And then we sat around and kind of talked, and I'm so glad that I didn't push hard today and I had the opportunity to do that, because the last couple stretches have gotten pretty lonely. I've camped alone every single night, pretty much hiked alone, and just kind of crossed paths with people. So I did see Aaron very briefly in town. He got in yesterday evening, and I left this morning before him, and he said that he was trying to head out today, but don't know if he ended up doing that or not. But anyway, we're within a day of each other. And then I believe Perk is about 5 or 6 days ahead now. He did take the Silverthorn alternate though, and I am taking the official CDT so I can hit Gray's Peak. So that might put me a little bit more behind, but regardless, I know there are good people in front of me and good folks behind me, and I think that I'll be in much better spirits in the morning just because I decided to enjoy the day, take it easy, and got revived with some trail magic. I just passed this man, and he told me that he is about to do just about 80 miles because tomorrow is his 80th
birthday. He just seems like a spunky little thing, and you know, he believes in himself. So I just want to say that all of the folks that are like, oh, I'm too old to backpack, or you know, I'm too old to do a section hike or whatever, that is fine if that's not a priority for you to do it. But if you literally think that your age is the only reason that you can't get out and enjoy nature, then you are lying to yourself. And that man said, well, it's gonna take me about 10 days because it's all I can do about 8 miles a day. And I said, well, darn, you know, I'm 32. And when I started this trail in New Mexico, guess how many miles I did my first day? Like 8.5, and that's on flat terrain. And this is in Colorado going up over passes. So he's starting off better than I did. I'm just saying, don't sell yourself short. I even ran into a man today that I have no idea where he came from, but he didn't have anything with him, not a day pack, not anything. Not even a bottle of water, but he had a flask water, which really wouldn't be a bad luxury item right now.
They've like been out there all night, just like, she's got to come out sometime. We might not have big brains, but we know that this...
Like, we know where you live.
Yeah, this lady will emerge eventually.
Yeah, and I literally put here, there, date trip ends, CDT, Canada.
Before the Grizz get hungry.
Still finding some snow patches. Up at almost 12,000 feet here, so kind of not surprised. Not really sure what not to touch here. Huh. Check that out. Little like dwellings from concrete. This is probably what I'm not supposed to be touching because of explosions. There's a nest there. Ah! Ah! I found a hobo!
Hungry, hungry hobos.
I'm just hanging out and eating my lunch with a waterfall today. It's pretty nice. If the water wasn't so freezing cold, I might take a free shower, but oh well, it's still nice to enjoy and pretty nice lunch spot. Probably the nicest I've had on trail so far if I had to pick one.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Well, I'm up and over a 3,000 foot climb, close to that anyhow, and got another 7 miles or so to the Copper Mountain ski resort area, and I got a dab of service, and I think that there might be a restaurant down there that is open until 11 p.m. tonight. So I'm pretty excited. It'll be about a 22-mile day when I get there, and I think the rooms are probably pretty steep, so I won't be staying there. Plus I'm going to town tomorrow, probably Breckenridge. But anyway, just to know that I can get some dinner and a beer the night before it's going to town day, and after a 22-mile day, it's pretty rewarding. Not gonna complain. Hopefully my hopes and dreams won't be crushed when I get down there and find out for some reason they're not open today. So anyway, I'm gonna hightail it down there, see what happens. I'm about 3.9 miles away now, and I've got my little sister calling them. I know the name of the place that's supposedly open until 11 p.m., but I'm having her verify what time they stop serving food. But hopefully it's within the time frame that I can get there And the reason I didn't call it myself is because I don't have service. So I asked her through the inReach, and I know that that's not necessarily what it's for, but just saying that it can be multi-purpose, not just for communicating, you know, letting people know you're alive, and also to get rescued, but, you know, find out what time restaurants close and stuff.
I'll be like, yeah, give me that steak well done too.
Night hiking at Copper Mountain Resort area. Oh.
That ended up being totally worth it. Although we've got about 12 to 13 miles or so to the road crossing tomorrow to get to town. So 23-mile day ended with a burger and a beer and a salad, and put me like 12 miles from town. Pretty good day.
There was a lady who I passed while I was going northbound in that section, and she had talked to me and everything, and given me her number and told me that when I got to the Breckenridge area, she said she knew as a backpacker how hard it was to get around from place to place, like different stores and the post office and yada yada, and that she had an extra vehicle, so while I was in the area, if I wanted to use the vehicle, I could do so. Well, I ended up calling her when I got to the trailhead, and she came to pick me up and then offered me and Aaron a place to stay. So Aaron ended up catching up while I was in Breckenridge there just that same evening. And so anyway, we stayed with Tracy and her husband Andy. And so Aaron was having a little knee pain while we were there. Well, Andy's a doctor, and he spent some time in family medicine, but he's actually a OBGYN right now. But so Aaron's gynecologist checked out his knee, and it's totally fine.
Oh.
It was really, really nice to just have that freedom of riding in a vehicle. And it's kind of strange when you hadn't had that freedom in a while, just to be able to go where you want to, when you want to, like at the drop of a hat. So anyway, it was a wonderful time. And again, I've said it 1,000 times, but the people that you meet along these trails just really make the experience what they are.